Hello, I want to show a demo of a new feature I'm working on in the Hermeto project. Hermeto is a CLI tool that you can embed in a CI/CD pipeline that will prefetch content, and its whole point is to enable then a build of software that is offline or disconnected. And the point of that is to be able to harvest a high quality or high confidence SBOM that we know all of the ingredients that went into the build when the build completes. So for this, I want to show this new backend that uses the Hugging Face APIs. And to do that here, I've got got garbage from the last time I ran the demo. Let's get rid of that. I've got this test HF offline script that uses the transformers Python library, Python module, which is used to talk to the Hugging Face APIs. The script is very simple. It's going to take this model at this particular revision in Hugging Face, and it's going to load it from the hub. And if that's successful, then it's going to print success. But if it raises an exception, then it's going to print no, we couldn't load the model. So very simple. So let's try to do that. If we run test HF offline, we see that it was successful. That's great. So what I learned here is that I can set an environment variable that's respected by the transformers library. It's HF hub offline equals 1. And if you run this, then the transformers library won't go and try and talk to Hugging Face. It'll just use a local cache instead. Now, that succeeded that time, even though all this script does is try to load something from Hugging Face, and that's because the transformers library is using a cache here. So let's get rid of that cache. Cache. Hugging Face, and if I run that again, we see that it failed because it's trying to pull this model from Hugging Face, and of course I've told it that it can't with HF Hub offline. You see this extra output from my script saying this is expected if the model hasn't been cached locally. Now we can run Hermeto to fetch the dependencies ahead of time, and that takes a huggingface.lock.yaml file as its input. And then we can set an HF Hub cache environment variable to run the script using the cache that's populated by Hermeto. So let's look at that input file first. This is a new log file format that's bespoke to Hermeto that simply lists models that should be cached by Hermeto one after another. Very simple syntax here. So let's run that. Clear screen, and we'll run Hermeto fetch deps. Here, just to explain the syntax, we'll hit run. We're running Hermeto. It has a couple different subcommands, one to fetch dependencies, which we're doing now, another to generate environment variables that can be used by other programs to take advantage of that fetched content. I'll show that in a second. But we're going to grab the file from the current local directory. We're going to output to an output directory, and we want to use this experimental Hugging Face plugin for Hermeto in order to do that. So to wait a moment while these files download. Great. And so now that that's done, let's clear our screen. We'll run tree to show the contents here. I'm going to make this a little smaller so you can hopefully see that we have our huggingface.lock.yaml file we started with and our test script, but now there's this output directory that contains a cache of all that content from Hugging Face laid out in a format that's respected by the transformers library. There's also this additional file, if you can see right here. I'll make this a little bigger so you can get back to it. In the output directory, it's this bomb.json file. And that is the important side effect of using Hermeto in a build pipeline. It is an SBOM that tells us what the components are that it pulled to make available to a build that presumably is going to be done offline with no network access later. The most important bit here is that the package URL, the Perl type, is Hugging Face, which is important in that it's not an arbitrary blob, arbitrary set of blobs that was recognized by Hermeto. With this, then downstream tools from this that are consuming the BOM can use this to match it against vulnerability or risk management databases later, making an AI-informed SBOM useful, hopefully in some way. So with that, let's see if we try to run our script again with HF Hub offline. Of course, it fails, but if I run it with HF Hub cache equals /output, let's see, did I do it right? No, I failed. Oh, it's because I didn't do it all the way. Output deps Hugging Face hub. Let's try that. And that was successful. We get success loaded model configuration from the local cache. So that's the end of my demo. Thank you for watching.